been a while. So, a couple things have changed. What's that? Go to hey. Like this guy back here. See him? That has changed. This has changed a little bit, and I know it's been what, 10 months, almost a year since my last post. So, yeah. Well, we're talking about this thing today again. And in my last video, I didn't really go very in depth. So, a few things have changed. Two major things. The engine. It's more powerful now. I swapped the engine. And I added some weights on the back. I don't know if you saw that or not in the introduction. But, yeah. Of course, Mr. Pup over there. Yeah. Now, as Vandinator would say, or whatever his name is, he keeps changing his name, but he says it's last time he posted. He says it's been a while. I'll have the link in the description. You could probably go look at the video. Of course, Riken. I don't know what his name is either. I haven't looked at his channel in a while. But yeah, this is kind of an update, another one. My last one was an update. This is more an update on this thing right here. But, as you saw in the title, the power of this thing. I feel like people pretty majorly underestimate these little tractors. Now this one's modified, of course, as you can tell. And let's just say I've put it to work the past, what, over a year ago, that post. And, yeah. Now, if you're wondering, this guy, he's a Great Pyrenees. I knew someone was gonna ask. But he's about 4 or 5 months old. Not very old. He's a big dog. Cody, hey, come here, bud. Yeah. I know probably if you've seen some other tractor channels, probably heard them say, once you have one of these things, it's kind of hard to imagine life without one. And I completely agree. It's been such a help. You saw in the tutorial, picked up a couple big logs. Those logs are heavier than they look. Hold that garden over there. Easy. Now this tractor is different from most traditional small tractors. It doesn't have the traditional 3-point hitch. It's just a 2-inch receiver, like for a truck or a ball hitch. And saw the rake. That's a new area I can put stuff. I need to take something somewhere. There's 2 more spots, but I have to do a little bit more to get those to work for that. So I'll kind of show you around the tractor, I guess. Sorry about that. I'll go over some of the problems that I've had with just the engine and some of the modifications done to this. Like I said, I didn't build this entire thing. It was pre-owned. But I've done a couple modifications. I've put a bigger battery in it. That is a, what is it? 525 cold cranking amps, so it's bigger. I think the original battery was like 350 cranking amps, cold cranking amps, and that battery died on me. So, but since that old battery was just a normal lawn tractor battery, I had to add some spacers. And if you're to buy this, not that I'm looking to sell it, but if you're to buy something like this, and see that is not factory, including those spacers down there, over on that side too. And again, pretty much nothing on this tractor is factory anymore. Even the tires aren't factory. The fenders and the chassis and the hood, that's pretty much factory. Same steering column. But the engine, the transmission is still factory. But the loader, the back end, the hydraulics, battery, seat, not factory. Now, I love this tractor. It's worked out phenomenal for me. And it just runs good and does good. I don't really know what else to say. I can't tell you how big some of the piles we've gotten this year of snow, and this thing has done an amazing job with dealing with that. Would recommend? Absolutely. If you have the time and the knowledge to build one of your own, or you know someone that can build one for you. Found something he likes. Anywho. Now, a couple tips with these tractors. Some of you guys may know this, some may not. Never, ever, ever tow these tractors, like behind a truck, or, just tow it with another tractor. These transmissions, especially the hydrostatics, were not built to be pulled or towed by any other thing. And if I actually come around to the other side here, there's actually a tag. Oh wait, no, that's not. Those must be on a different one. But how these were designed is they have to be under power by the engine to move, or by something. Has to go through that drive shaft to move. Any other way, it will just ruin it. And you have to keep an eye on the oil on some of these things, because some may leak. The oil fill is usually right back there. It's that little square plug. Can't see it very well, but it's right there. But you gotta make sure the oil's full, or else they'll just completely ruin it. It's like any other hydraulic pump. If you run it without oil, it just ruins it, or like running an engine without oil. Now, I've never had any problems with that. I'm looking to fill it up again with oil shortly. But yeah, that's the big thing that you gotta keep an eye on, because you can't really find those transmissions anymore. I mean, you could probably find parts for them, but there's some parts that you just can't replace, and you can't just replace these transmissions. You'd have to go to a garden tractor scrap yard to find replacements. So, moving on to the engine. It runs really well, as you heard. It starts easy in the summer, and once it's warm, in the winter, it doesn't like to start. Now, I don't know if that's just the carburetor tuning or what, but I had some problems with that. So I ended up putting a heating pad underneath on the oil pan to heat it. So, another thing to kind of keep in mind. And with pretty much any piece of equipment, the weather, just weather and sitting outside for long periods of time can ruin them. It wouldn't be immediate, but letting them sit out for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, they'll start getting all rusty. The seat will get torn up. The seat on this, before it got replaced, was bad. It had holes in it, and the foam, you could see the foam right through it. But if you look at pretty much any one of these that have been sitting for long times, the seat will always be messed up, and it'll be rusty. Let's see. But yeah. Now, the starter, which is this big beefy behemoth, is a starter generator. Now, it starts it, and it generates electricity at the same time, and I'll show you a video of that turning over and starting the tractor. But you can't crank on these for a super long amount of time. Like, if you just kept cranking on it for like 5 minutes, it'll completely ruin them. And it's kind of the same deal with the transmission. You just can't get them anymore. So I'll go ahead and show you a video of that, of starting it, and we'll go. So that's kind of what that looks like. Now, kind of the starting procedure of these things can be a little bit complicated. So, you own a car with a manual transmission. That's the clutch, or in this case, the neutral. You put that down. Okay, so this is your PTO. I know I didn't know what that was in the last video, but that turns on and off your PTO. This, it's frozen right now, but that's to raise and lower your deck. This guy over here. You got your choke and your throttle, and this is your amperage meter. Now, traditionally, right here, that's where the lever for the hydrostat would go. That's taken out because now it's got a treadle pedal, right down there. Push it forward to go forward, forward to go forward, back for back, and neutral keeps it from moving. Now, the hydraulic operations, this is non-factory. That is the up, well, down, up, curl, dump, and this is to control the back. It's not on right now, so it's not going to do anything, but I'll show you that. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. So, the starting procedure for these things when it's especially cold out is you're going to want to pull out the choke, and you're going to want it to give it 3/4 to half or full throttle. It's a lot harder to start when it's cold, when it's at no throttle, so 3/4 to half. I have this stick in here because the throttle won't stay in one spot. But I'm not going to use the choke now because it's warm. So, but you'd use that, it'll like kind of pop, and you push it in once it starts to sputter, and it should start right. Keys right down there. Turn it. And once it's started, you can usually let it idle down. So the functions: up, down, curl and dump, dump, curl. For the rear end, which is this one all the way over here, up, down. Pretty straightforward. So, that's pretty much basic functions of this tractor. So, I don't know what else to cover on this. You know, thing with any machine, grease it regularly on all the points on the tractor. Okay, grease it regularly. They got Zerx fittings on the what you call it? The steering column, the steering points, the pivots for the tires. The loader doesn't have any Zerx. You take out the pins and grease the pins and then put them back in, and that greases it. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics of this tractor. And the cool thing about this tractor is the ROPS bar is the hydraulic tank. Just conserves more space, especially when you're working with these smaller tractors. So yeah, I really don't know what else to say. But yeah. Well, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will try and post more regularly. Things have just been kind of crazy with the dog, new dog. So, like, subscribe, and have a good one.